what may change today is travel arrangements. And I'm joined now by Eoghan Corry, who's the editor of Air and Travel magazine. Good evening, Eoghan. Thank you for taking the time, Mark. As usual. Could you spell out to us what might get a country booted off the green list?
If your rate falls below that of Ireland, or you have a higher infection rate than Ireland, that's actually happened to two countries that were on the green list, Malta and Cyprus. Our rate has gone up a little bit due to those spikes, well-publicised spikes last week, but nearly every other country in Europe is dealing with the same sort of issue. If we take the same standard, Ireland's rate, or better, we're going to have about 10 countries on the green list. If we take the European standard, which was implemented on June the 15th, we will have about 20 countries on the green list. There is a little bit of a strangeness about this decision because the huge amount, the business of reconnecting Ireland with the rest of the world has been going on apace since it reached its lowest level on April the 12th. To give an example, April the 12th, we had 12 flights out of Dublin Airport. We have 112 flights tomorrow, and only 9 of those are to green list countries. The peak number of passengers over the weekend was 15,200 through Dublin Airport. Cork have about 12 flights. Shannon have about 10 flights a day. None of those to the green list countries. The reconnecting is going on. The green list is significant for things like travel insurance and indeed for employers who have now started to implement a 14-day quarantine for people returning for a country that's not on the green list. But it's like the reconnecting of Ireland with the rest of Europe has been going on apace, and it's not being taken. They've not discarded the standards. They've taken on board the European Centre of Disease Control standards and the European Air Safety Authority standards to make sure the highest safety is there. The airports have introduced their social distancing. All of this is going on because that we were so slow getting any guidance from the government, and as it looks at the moment from all the leaks over the weekend, the green list is not going to be expanded. More importantly, it's not going to be regionalised as well, because that would be very significant inbound from Germany. Only one region in Germany has a very high level, and outbound the Canary Islands would be one of the safest places in Europe.
What do you make of, what's your assessment of the green list and how it has worked so far?
It's a shambles. There's no significance with connectivity with the places Irish people go, with the Irish people places people coming to Ireland come from. For instance, 3% of our trading is done with the countries that are on the green list. Most of that's Italy, Greece. 9% of our connectivity altogether to all the countries. Italy and Greece are the most important of those. Most of our connectivity is about 37% is with the UK. And what the green list does is people are travelling anyway. They're taking their chances on it, and they're doing the self-isolation. Most people don't want to put the health of the nation at risk, so they're doing their travel, coming back, doing their 14-day self-isolation. But machines are not being serviced, Mark. Deals are not being signed. One of the big running stories of the day is what's going to happen TikTok with Donald Trump. They're looking at relocating their world headquarters. London is the front runner. Dublin should be in that game. All the big things that we used to do, punching above our weight as a small island in terms of trading, in terms of the foreign direct investment we attract. All of those things depended on our connectivity very heavily. And it's like the government, they didn't opt in to the reopening of the borders that took place across Europe on June the 15th. They actually didn't opt out of it either. They just went somewhere in the middle. And because there was such pressure to produce a list of countries, they basically printed something off the internet which of the countries that had lower rates than Ireland. And there were, we're allowing flights from 15 countries. 4 of them don't have flights to Ireland. 2 of them don't even have airports. It was like, here, if you want, it's like a truculent teenager. If you want a list, here's a list. And it bears no significance to what's really happening in trade, in travel outbound, or tourism inbound, with 200,000 jobs at stake.
Well, Eoghan Corry, you've articulated the situation very well, but you've also summed it up beautifully as well, and you did it with gusto in the way you said shambles. Listen, thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Mark.
That was Eoghan Corry, the editor of Air and Travel magazine.